Today is Africa's Day. What is the place of Africa's culture and heritage in building an economically inclusive, climate resilient continent we all want and deserve? When we think of heritage, one African proverb rings true, and it says that we desire to bequeath two things to our children. The first is roots, and the other is winds. This proverb contextualizes the fact that cultural heritage and progress are inseparable. Culture and heritage are meant for only one purpose: achieving progress. So the question then becomes, has it worked this way for Africa? Well, I think the proverbial writing is clear on the wall. We are a continent with over 257 million citizens going to bed every day hungry. We are a continent with 620 million citizens energy impoverished. Over 12 million new jobs are needed every year as more youth join the tarmac in a desperate search for hard to find near non-existent jobs. The elephant in the room, climate change, where the continent remains the most disproportionately vulnerable region of the globe to its disastrous impacts, which we are already seeing across the continent, is only adding to this precarious equation. And all this happens in a continent that is the most resource region of the globe. Be it the biggest share of global arable land, high-intensity free energy from the sun, well-renowned wildlife and scenic beauty, great weather, enough water, diverse minerals, any natural resource you can name is in the African continent. A continent with 1.3 billion citizens, each endowed with a unique talent. I think it is safe to say that culture has not yet achieved its full purpose in Africa. And the next question then becomes, why is it so? I pin it in one word: entropy. What could loosely be defined as misguided random energy which cannot accomplish any work. If you want to understand what I am saying more graphically, just imagine an octopus with its many legs, walking on roller skates. There will be plenty of movement but zero displacement, zero progress. Africa has all the talents. Africa has the abilities and resources, but the progress has not advanced with speed. With all the resources, the region has not achieved the purpose of every culture and heritage, which is optimal progress. Africa Day 2021 should be about inculcating one critical attribute that is a cure for this syndrome, and that is self-discipline. Inculcating and continuously enhancing self-discipline among each and every one of us should be our singular most important personal objective. And at the core of self-discipline is humility. At the core of self-discipline is selflessness and passion, and not passion to indulge oneself, but rather to do that which can touch many lives beyond ourselves. This is how to harness the willpower, the resolve, the determination, the positive drive inherent in all the 1.3 billion citizens in the continent that can drive and truly create the Africa we want. Distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, innovative volunteerism provides us the space and framework to make this self-discipline a tangible input into building the Africa we want. Through innovative volunteerism, which is the biggest mindset change tool for willing young people to turn their passions into solutions, we are seeing young people from west to east, north to south, central, being structurally guided to retool their skills and work selflessly with their peers, using what they have towards delivering on-demand climate action solutions that touch many lives in society. Solutions of solar dryers, where they turn problems into opportunities in adding value to avoid post-harvest losses that are costing the continent over $48 billion each and every year. Solutions to problems of indoor pollution, where up to 600,000 people are dying prematurely every year in Africa. These are among many other areas these young people are selflessly applying themselves with the self-discipline and humility to follow structured guidance and exercise self-discipline in everything they do. And for these, I've got 3 pointers to leave you with. Pointers on how we can be able to move towards self-discipline to create the Africa we want. And the first one is skills retooling. Your biggest premium is your skill. With your skill, you can create value and exchange value for money. Ask yourself what you are good at. Look internally, discover your inner gift and perfect it. Then you can then become competitive, because with that gift, you can create value. And this is what innovative volunteerism have inspired in youth across the continent. Self-discipline for climate action. And the second is passion. Passion is the fuel that moves ideas into real-life solutions. What ignites passion in the first place is a cause that is greater than an individual. Without passion, you throw money at every problem and waste it and end up with no result. Passion is the real winner because regardless of what we contribute, if it falls on passionless youth, then no transformation will ever occur. If we fail to do so, we will be missing out on the biggest enabler of sustainability, which is a self-motivated and self-driven people. And that takes me to the last point, which is each and every one of us must become a selfless, transformational, values-based leader. In the mid-1940s to late 50s and on to the early 60s, as the clamor for self-determined rule reached fever pitch across the entire African continent, there arose self-appointed men and women who espoused boldness, unshakable unity, dedication, selflessness, and fidelity to a struggle to liberate their people, a task which was their own unborrowed vision, a calling to execute. Their every move was governed by a laser-sharp focus and clarity of vision to win independence for their people. No amount of persecution, lack, threats could stand on their way. They did it not for themselves, but for the future generations they had no hope of ever meeting. They demonstrated self-discipline and character of humility that was unmatched. These men and women were joined ideologically in the struggle by the timeless values of selflessness and character of humility. They did not postpone this call for a day in the hope of elusive perfection. This is the foundation of values-based leadership that we all must identify with and champion wherever we are on this planet Earth to drive climate-resilient development as we pivot the levers of socio-economic liberation. This responsibility falls squarely on our shoulders as the current generation. Let us espouse self-discipline in everything we do. Happy Africa Day. Thank you.
I wait to reward those who selflessly apply their talent to offer value to him by being useful to fellow man and to punish those who that bury their talent. This is innovative volunteerism. It is for you to make a difference.